everybody, One of Wisdom here, horsing around with Trailblazer. It is Saturday, August 22nd, 2015. Wanted to get the fire element upgrades done in the month of August because think of summer heat, hot, heat waves, fire, works well. That said, I have been looking very forward to this Trailblazer as a character. I have a lot of hopes for. I've got a lot of plans for him in the future. I don't know that Toys for Bobs and Vicarious Visions might agree with me, but I want Igniter on the back of Trailblazer in a game I call Skylanders Tag Team. Not Trap Team, but Skylanders Tag Team. You can't tell me that wouldn't be a cool concept. Picture Flame Slinger up there. Of course, you'd have like the fire element boost when the characters matched. Stealth Elf could go up there. You wouldn't have the fire element bonus. But I don't know, man. I've had that idea since I saw Trailblazer, and I just think it would be really cool. I think he should be a little bit faster than he is. He's pretty quick, but I feel like he would be well suited to heroic challenges to max out his speed. That said, this is a base upgrade, so we're going to take a look at his box stock attacks, in addition to being able to do really cool circles like that. His primary attack, the hat is not stock, by the way. The primary attack is Fireball. Note that made contact. You couldn't see the number, but rest assured it was 70. Critical on that's 105. He can fire them off fairly quick. Now, note he's got a bit of like a whirlwind arc going. This isn't like he shoots a fireball and it goes straight forward. It doesn't. There's a critical. It doesn't just go in a straight linear path. It doesn't bounce on the ground. It doesn't roll on the ground. It's got a big arc. So if Quigley was an enemy, we're not going to hit him with the fireball unless we run away and, reposition ourselves. In which case, if Quigley was an enemy, he would be pursuing us, and we would have to be that much quicker than the enemy, lure them into making a swing with the club if it's a troll or something, and then retreating and striking. So that is something to keep in mind. That said, with the arc, he's got pretty good range that he otherwise wouldn't have. And, I mean, this is kind of a moot point. And I don't really see people talk about it much, because it really, since SSA, they took away a lot of like what endeared the game to me so much. Like, water element is all that can go through water unless you can fly with air. Oh, when Tech can fly, we can go across the water. That type of stuff, because you had a lot of situations where Whirlwind was the ideal Skylander because she could get an arc and actually hit the enemies, or you had something like Hex that brought an object down from the sky and Mike can pull it off. But so that is something. It's linear path, like straight from the horse's mouth to Gilgrunt Jr.'s mouth would be ideal. But the arc is unique, and if they ever get back to that, that would be very convenient. Now, secondary attack is the roundhouse kick. This is what it looks like. And you'll note, as you look at the front of him, he turns, and you kind of see like the hoofs would make contact, and then there's a fire explosion. That's what happens. If I stand here and we aim at the dummy, a little bit closer, we get 75, right? And so you're thinking, okay, the roundhouse kick does 75. That's cool. It's very well balanced. You're like, what was that, 675? No, but the 75, that'll translate to what, 112, I think? That should not be bold. Curse you, spreadsheet. Anyway, so 75 to 112 on like the flame. And why do I say flame? Because if you're close enough, you're going to see two damage numbers here. You're going to have what I consider to be like the impact of the hoof, if you will, which is going to be 60 and then 75. So 60 would be the hoof hitting, 75 is the fire charge. So 60 to 90, that would be our, hoof hits the enemy, if you will. And then 75 to 112 is a flame. So best case scenario, you get a critical on both 90 and 112. So that's 202 on your damage count there. Pretty impressive. But most importantly, well balanced, although with the combo, it does favor the roundhouse kick at this point in time. So
ready for an...
That said, let's do his base upgrades. Keep in mind, I've got 19 Wing Sapphires, so I've got a pretty sweet discount rolling here. That's why this costs $310. It is called Bring the Heat, and the Fireball attack does extra damage. Again, those vague adjectives are what prompted all of this to begin. The spreadsheet madness. But so they were doing pretty decent at 70 to 105. That's actually, ironically, greater damage. That's almost double the damage that Kaboom does with the Traptanium cannonballs. Just throwing that out there, you know. But maybe it's because they're like, you know, special charge of cinnamon. So that's a big jump right there, actually. 91, good lord. That was a pleasant surprise. 91 to 136. Usually I've noticed, why is that bold? It should not be bold. 91 to 130, those bold rants do not concern you, but rather me and the spreadsheet, who are currently in the midst of a rocky relationship. But 91 to 136 is going to be what we want to pay attention to there, and that is a flaming hot damage output there. So I was thinking, you know, it might bump at 70 to 75, 80, you know, like do 80 to 120-ish. But the jump to 91 already is super convenient. So that's one of those strange things where it's 91 on the initial hit, and then the increase is 45, which would be half of 90. So you'd think it would be like 90 to 135. I don't know what went on here, but I won't complain about the extra one. If it was 89, I'd probably complain. But I'll take that. The kick's still 60 to 75, or as you saw there, 112 on the critical of the flame aspect. Up next is Stampede. Now this is critical because it will probably dictate which path I want to take. And this is a tertiary attack. It's 434. Press Y for a charge attack, shooting fire out of your horn. If you are a veteran of the series, you will remember two things that I always say. What's important to me in Skylanders is speed and armor. Now when some characters lack speed and they have a charge attack, that makes up for it. Charge attacks tend to be some of my personal favorites. You can think back to Skullmaster, Ghost Roaster. You can think back to Drill Sergeant. You can think even the, you know, like Flame Dashes with Flame Slinger. Anything that speeds you up and does damage is just a bonus to me. So we're going to press that, and we should have a charge, and we shoot fire out of the horn. So I'm going to go up the stairs here. I'm just going to tap one. Okay, so basically like a 1.5-ish, basically 1 to 2 seconds if you just tap Y. Now if I hold Y, let's see what happens. Wow, that was a lot longer than I thought it would be. I was thinking maybe like a little 3-second jaunt, you know, like basically I was thinking I could go from here to the bottom of the stairs. But we're going to start right here and check this out. We'll try to go across the bridge. Okay, I think we got hung up a little bit, mainly because of that idiot Quigley. So let's stay away from that freak job and start here and see what we can do. About 8 to 9 seconds. He still technically, you know, is in the motions of the charge, but you don't have the flame. Oh, I was like, what is that portal doing? And then I realized, oh, we're by the villain vault. Okay, so let's see what that does. I'm just gonna tap Y. 44, so that should be 44 to 66. Now let's hold Y down and just, if this pops off the dummy, I'm just gonna try to circle back. That's interesting. Are you limited to 2 hits, or do you have to charge it? Well, that's interesting. The most hits I can get off is 2, yet I have been able to keep him going. Okay, now that was way more than 2, so that theory's blown wide up. It's a little difficult to control, and so many times I'm finding that the second hit wants to lift the attack, suspend your charge if you will. And if you pop it right now, right there, I think it's like kind of glitching out. It's not, it's registering the damage and displaying it, but I think that to the game, he's just like charging, and it's not really, it's considering that more than that we're making contact. So we're replicating that. Let's see if we can count the number of 44s this time. I have no idea, like 13 or something. So it's so hard. I hate it when the sound doesn't match the number. That drives me absolutely crazy. And once again, there was no reason for this cell to be bold. It's ridiculous. You will not be bold. I shun thee. Alright, so 9-second charge time. 44 to 66, and again, I don't know how to adequately describe that in a spreadsheet cell, but sometimes it seems like an initial charge, if you make contact, you'll get like 2 hits off, and it has nothing to do with him timing out. I could start right here, and there were the 2 hits. Whereas I could start here, run around this guy, go through the river, through the forest to Grandma's house, off Persephone, and we could have essentially, you know, like now make contact with that guy and rattle off 3, but I think it's the angle. If you go like head on into the enemy, or at least the dummy, we seem to get 2. Now if it wasn't a fixed dummy, I don't know if that would change. But if you can somehow like skirt the character, kind of like that, you can get the extra hits on them. So it's something you'll have to play with, but you basically got about 9 seconds. As soon as it terminates, let's see how soon we can get back into it. Timed out? Yeah. So it's instantaneous. By the time you take your thumb off the Y button, or whatever finger you may use, by the time you take your charge attack ends, finger off, finger back on, it's ready to go. So that will just vary depending, I guess, upon the enemy, your angle of approach, the time, all that stuff. Alright, so up next is Bucking Bronco. We're going to hold the B button to go into Bucking Bronco mode, kicking in every direction. I'm assuming this won't be easy to control. $5.58 is the price. Let's see what this is going to turn out to be like. I'm hoping this increases the damage, but I guess the 60 to 90 wasn't bad. I'm just going to tap B right now. Still the 60s and 112s there, so that's our same damage set. Let's see how long we have to hold it. About 7 seconds. Yeah, so he seems to basically throw flames from his tail, I guess would be the best way to say that. So, Bucking Bronco. About 6 seconds. 6-second run time. And let's see if we can get damage on that. Nope, he's going the wrong way and I couldn't turn him around. Okay, that was a direct hit on the dummy and I saw nothing. So 75 to 112, I'm thinking that's what we'll have. Yeah, I was trying to go across the river. Not
then press the tag button again to return to playing as your Skylander.
Okay, so that's also making contact and registering. So when we do get them to register, it's 75 to 112. Difficult to control. Really, you can't. You just kind of have to hope for the best. Alright, it's not control, it's control. No spell checks in these spreadsheets, and that's dangerous when you're tired. Let's fuel the fire, which fuel is not spelled fully. F-U-L-E, is it? So let's correct that. Fuel the fire. Fuel. Okay. You know you're tired when you're having trouble with basic 4-letter words. Or maybe it's because we played categories earlier. I don't know.
Ready for
Anyway,
magic?
let's go ahead and crank this one out. Fuel the fire. This is going to be all attacks do extra damage. And aren't those so much fun to document in the spreadsheet? $7.44 is our price. Let's see if we can't get this taken care of for you. Now right here, Equine Excellence, you improve the Stampede attack, which currently I'm a much bigger fan of the Stampede than the Bucking Bronco. Just because I can control the charge attack. It's weird that I can only do 2 on the fixed dummies. But getting the speed boost and then being able to, you know, get a benefit of damage dealt from that is nice. And then Fireballer improves fireball attacks. So we'll have to think about that. But let's take a look now at the final base upgrade, Fuel the Fire, and see just how much of an increase we've got. So we'll begin with the primary, which was Fireball. Started 70. With Bring the Heat, we got up to 91. Oh wow, 109. Let's see what the crit on that's going to be. I know what it should be. It should be around 163. Yeah, and that it was. So 109 to 163. I guess we should fireball equals is the best way to do these. So fireball equals 109 to 163. And then I'm just going to put roundhouse. I put Chuck Norris, but it might offend him. So roundhouse right there. 72, I'm thinking. Which one's coming first? Let's find it. 90 on the hoof, I think. Or the fire, I'm sorry. Alright, so roundhouse hoof is going to
play as your captured enemy.
72 to
Then press the
108,
tag
right?
button again to return
And
to
it
playing as your
was 60 to
Skylander.
90, so that's plus 12 on the standard. And then flame part, was it the 90 now? Yeah, we're getting criticals there, so 90 to 135. This is a great little thing to throw in at the end of it. I don't know if they like just, oh, I can't think of anything. And they're like, oh, what do we do? And whoever, this is okay. You know, give me speed, give me armor, or just do this because it's fantastic as well. I'm not going to complain about it. Stampede, we had 9 seconds. We were doing 44 to 66. Time should stay the same, so let's just tap Y. 53. Alright, so 53 to 79. That's great. Stampede. Not a huge increase, but every little bit adds up. I mean, that plus 9 there, then you see what it does to the critical as well, and you just kind of steamroll from that point, or snowball, whichever adjective you prefer. Time to use Mr. Semicolon again. And lastly, I guess we would have what? Bucking Bronco, where we were doing, what, 75 to 112? Let's try to get this going. So it's going to turn out to be the 90 to 135 as well. I'm just going to put Bronc. You know, I'm from Texas, I can do that. So 90 to 135. Try to keep that as concise as I can for the spreadsheet viewers out there. Speaking of the spreadsheet, if you want to see the spreadsheet, kind of get a recap on this or a quick refresher, compare it with what you've got, study it to make the best decision on damage output for Trailblazer, take the link in the video description box either to my site, oneofweasel.com, or I guess the Skylander Club Forum, which is technically my site as well. It's just a community effort on that one. So, you know, that's what you prefer. Go to the Skylander Club. That said, there you will see the base upgrades. You will see the path I pick. Possibly both paths. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that right now. It takes a lot of time that I need to be getting ready. I mean, Superchargers is less than a month away. You know, that's the bottom line here. So that may dictate what I do. There's a lot of rambling on about that topic in the base videos for Kaboom, if you care to listen to it. If not, skip ahead a little bit, you'll be fine. And that said, we will have the base upgrades for Trailblazer, the path I pick, and of course the spreadsheet, which you can check out, like I said, oneofweasel.com or the Skylander Club Forum. If you haven't signed up there, check it out. If you like what you see, sign up. We would love to have you. You can follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you like Trailblazer, leave a like. If you think he should have cinnamon dust, little cinnamon dust hoof prints when he walks, you know, they do that with some characters, like the little impressions where they've been. I felt like he should have that. Okay, I'm kind of partial to him. And I do plan... Kaboom, I'd like to do a custom paint on. I've had it planned, but with Trailblazer, I know I want to do one. I'm trying to hold out for when he's on sale. And that's kind of why I'm thinking I might just do one path right now. There will be a second Trailblazer. Because like I said, I've got plans for him. I could put a fedora on Flameslinger, and think how cool they would look riding off into the forest. Just picture that, if you will. These doors are like some deep, dark underground crypt with T-Bone guarding it, like the Forest of Deathly Doom or something. And here we go with our Skylanders tag team combination of Trailblazer and Flameslinger. They would just be, or Igniter in that case would be a better fit. Actually, man, that's tough. Who would be better in a forest, Igniter or Flameslinger? Interesting choice there. I guess it depends what enemy is in the forest. For the dragon, I would go with Igniter. If it's just like run-of-the-mill minions, I guess Flameslinger. Skeletons, I almost would say Igniter. I don't know. The undead levels were just too awesome, as they say. T-Bone. he deserves more of a role in the game, I think. So anyway, I'll quit rambling before we get off on a sleepy tangent, and I'll catch you back here for the path I select. And like I said, check out those links and enjoy the spreadsheet. And let me know what your thoughts are on Trailblazer, which path you picked and why. And I will catch you back here for more Skylanders Trap Team research.